The M's so much smaller. Wait, when did the M become so much smaller? I never realized this.
You still get a cool toy, like one of these from the new movie Spy Kids. Only now, since you're bigger, we made your food bigger too.
Hello and welcome. Why wouldn't you join me and we'll have a nice dinner together while we watch Spy Kids?
Cunning and intelligence of the world's greatest espionage agents, all rolled into tiny packages I call Spy Kids.
Spy Kids was released in 2001 and it is under Miramax and Dimension Films, but it is still considered a Disney film under the reins because Disney owned Miramax and Dimension Films during this time period. So there will be a lot of movies that we're going to be talking about, especially within this month, under the Dimension Films that don't list as Disney, but because Disney owned them as a company, that's their parent company and they still are technically within the Walt Disney Studios. And Disney played this movie so many times when it was still relevant on the Disney Channel, as well as the sequel, which we'll be talking about later on. And I forgot how much I remembered this film. I hadn't seen this in years, and as soon as I put it on and the opening started, memories just flooded back and I was like, I remember everything about it.
Time for bed. Did you brush your teeth?
Already did.
Junie, don't forget to
I am.
All right.
Okay, Wart. Prepare to meet your maker.
It's just crazy how much they really promoted it. So even though it doesn't say Disney in anywhere on the box or in the movie itself, it counts. Back in the early 2000s as well, McDonald's was also a really big partner alongside with Disney. Not only did Disney have tons of toys that were featured with McDonald's Happy Meals and just McDonald's in general, this was a huge sponsor to Spy Kids. And it's very blatant, obvious sponsor.
Check it out. Thank you, Carmen.
This is not a sponsor for me, sadly, but I wanted to point out how blunt this was in the movie. And the product placements for McDonald's with Spy Kids was so ridiculously clear. And they had so many commercials about it, featuring the toys. I don't even remember if I have any of the toys or if I had any of the toys, but they tried to make Spy Kids cool while making kids fat at the same time. The movie itself has a really huge cast. We have Antonio Banderas, Alexa Vega, Daryl Savarba, who is only known for this movie, and now that he's dating Meghan Trainor and they're engaged and they're gonna get married.
Who's that sexy thing I see over there? That's me.
Cheech Marin, who was in so many films. I keep forgetting how many films he's actually did, especially for kids films, because we've talked about him how many times already in all these films that we've talked about and discovered. It cracks me up, but Cheech is a really huge actor that I didn't realize. So Danny Trejo in this movie, who's a very famous action star. And of course, my favorite person, Alan Cumming, is in this, and I love Alan Cumming. We already talked about how much I love him, but he's amazing. He plays Floops in Vegan Floop in this film.
So always remember, whatever you do, believe in yourself. Your dreams will come true.
This also leads into the fact of how much of this film has basically given us meme culture, and everyone that has grown up with this film, me included, watching this back and seeing how strange this film actually is, makes a lot of sense today what type of humor we enjoy.
It's a cruel, cruel world, all you little boys and girls, and some mean, nasty people want to have you for their supper. But if you follow me, you can all be free, free, you can all be free. There's a bird on a big TV, if you dream,
thumb robots, you have thumb thumbs. What are thumb thumbs? How are these not terrifying to kids? As well as the entire Floops Flegels show and the plot line and the theme song. It was an LSD trip for us without taking any drugs, and now this is our humor. This is normal to us. So thank you, movie, for giving us this crazy, ridiculous, terrifying in some sense humor, and now this is the new normal. Overall, it is actually a really solid film. Director and writer and producer in every role basically is Robert Rodriguez. He's done these films, and we'll talk about him more as we continue on with our films because they're sequels, but it's a basic plot that these two spies fell in love with each other, had kids.
Once upon a time, there was a man and a woman.
And they were both spies.
Yes, she from one country, he from another. She had a very important mission assigned to her.
He was her mission.
Correct.
And they have to be brought out of retirement to rescue all of these secret agents that were captured by an evil madman that they're now parading as these weird, wacky cartoon characters. And the kids learn their secret and they become spies themselves and learn the tricks of the trade. And it's actually a really fun film. It's really good. I enjoyed this one, even watching it now when it's been at least over a decade since I've seen it last time. So it's still something that holds up today. And even though the technology is kind of a little outdated, it's still nostalgic and it's still fun because it was state-of-the-art technology, so it was more fantasy even back then. And it gives kids a taste of action and spy films, but it's still appropriate for everyone to enjoy, and it's really a true family film. There's nothing that's too raunchy, there's not really any adult jokes that will go over kids' heads, and it's literally family fun entertainment for everyone, so I give them a lot of credit. It's still a very enjoyable film, even though it can get a little bit strange at times, but that's the new normal, like I said. And it's cool to see this still be a big deal, because I know even in the past couple of years we've had memes, legit memes from this movie, so it's still extremely relevant. Tomorrow we're going to take a look at our second Spy Kids movie, so stay tuned, and as always I hope you have a magical day and I will see you real soon.